Have you ever encountered a man who didn't just walk into your life, but felt like he was summoned by something far deeper than chance? A presence that shifts everything, like the pull of the moon on the tides. His arrival doesn't simply stir emotions. It awakens something ancient in you. It feels as though he speaks a language only your soul recognizes, one you never learned but somehow understand. Carl Jung would say that when the universe places someone into your life with such undeniable force, it is never just about romance. It's a summons, a call to evolve. But how can you tell if this man is truly a messenger from the universe, or if you're caught in another illusion of longing and unconscious projections? Today, we will uncover 3 profound clues that suggest a man's presence is not by accident, but rather a signal. A sign your soul has been quietly waiting for. If you're ready to see beneath the surface and finally listen to what your unconscious has been whispering all along, stay with me. Clue 1. The shadow mirror. When a man walks into your life and stirs powerful emotions, whether they're blissful or deeply unsettling, he might not just be a lover or a companion. He may be a mirror. Jung referred to the shadow as the hidden part of ourselves we often bury, deny, or suppress. It's where we keep our unspoken fears, buried anger, unmet desires, and hidden longings. When you find yourself magnetically drawn to someone, so deeply it shakes you, this isn't merely chemistry. Often, this intense reaction is a signal that your shadow self has been activated. You might feel an overwhelming wave of passion or an attraction that seems fated. But alongside that, you might also feel resistance, even fear. Why does this person stir so much within you? What part of yourself is being called to the surface? If you've spent your life pushing down your anger, you may find yourself inexplicably drawn to a man who is bold, unapologetic, perhaps even confrontational. If you've denied your own sensual nature, he might awaken a desire in you so powerful it feels dangerous to surrender. And if you've always clung to control, he may be the one who demands trust and vulnerability, cracking open the armor you've worn for so long. Jung once said, "We become what we fear most." The people who provoke us the deepest aren't always the enemy. Sometimes they are the unwitting guides, sent to reflect back what we have long hidden from ourselves. This is not a coincidence. The universe often delivers these encounters to invite you to face your shadow. Not to destroy you, but to help you integrate what's been denied and move one step closer to becoming whole. In Jung's perspective, love is not merely a feeling, it is a crucible for transformation. Clue 2. The animus awakening. Inside every woman resides an inner masculine energy, an archetype Jung named the animus. This is not about gender roles, but about the inner compass that shapes your thinking, your instincts, your ambitions, and your spiritual journey. When a man arrives in your life and it feels like destiny, when something in you whispers, he holds a missing piece. It may be because he's reflecting your unconscious animus. In its early, unconscious stage, the animus can take the form of an inner critic or a fantasy savior. It's that quiet but corrosive voice saying, "You're not complete unless someone else tells you that you are." When this voice dominates, meeting a man may trigger not connection, but obsession. You might fear he'll leave, you might idealize him, you might slowly disappear into the relationship believing he is your other half, the answer to everything. But something shifts when your animus becomes conscious. Suddenly, you no longer see this man as a rescuer. You see him as a mirror, a reflection of your own strength, your wisdom, your vision, your power. You don't lose yourself in his presence. You find yourself. You're inspired, not afraid. You admire him, but don't worship him. You feel recognized, but never silenced. You evolve beside him, without abandoning your own path. When a man's presence calls you into your full self, your truth, your clarity, your fire, then he may not be a fantasy, but a companion aligned with your soul's unfolding. He isn't here to rescue you. He's here to walk beside you. Clue 3. The synchronicity signal. Carl Jung described synchronicity as meaningful coincidences, moments in time where the inner world and the outer world meet in a dance of hidden significance. These aren't random patterns or hopeful projections. They're echoes from a deeper layer of reality, clues that your soul is being spoken to in a language beyond logic. So what does it mean when someone enters your life not just with charm or timing, but with signs, dreams, and repeating symbols that feel impossible to ignore? It is often not just fate, it's the universe whispering through patterns. This isn't about obsessive overanalyzing. It's not about trying to force meaning where none exists. True synchronicity feels calm, subtle, like an internal nod of recognition, not a frantic chase. You might dream of him before ever crossing paths. You might see his name appear again and again during moments of silence, reflection, or emotional depth. Or perhaps your meeting felt too perfectly timed to be coincidental, like the world shifted slightly to ensure your paths would intersect. But here's the truth. These moments are not only about the other person. They are mirrors of what is being awakened within you. The universe doesn't just send signs for entertainment. It's calling you inward. Ask yourself, what is this experience revealing in me? What emotion, pattern, or belief is being stirred away? What part of me is being asked to evolve or release? The presence of synchronicity doesn't mean the relationship is meant to last a lifetime. It doesn't promise forever. What it does promise is this: the energy it carries is initiatory, symbolic, potent, and capable of catalyzing your growth. So, if you want to know whether this man is truly chosen by the universe, ask not, does he love me? But rather, does this connection help me love myself more? Does his presence light up your soul or pull you away from your truth? The one sent by the universe is not the one who fulfills fairy tales. He is the one who wakes you up to your courage, your softness, your boundaries, your purpose. He may be the one who challenges you to speak without shrinking, to reclaim parts of yourself you long abandoned, to remember why you came here, and to walk boldly toward that mission. His presence might not always feel safe, but it will feel real. And in that raw truth, he becomes a key not to eternity, but to transformation. Not a promise of lifelong comfort, but a doorway into your own becoming. When you view love through the lens of Jung, everything shifts. Each connection becomes a mirror, a message, and a catalyst. The universe is always speaking. But are you really listening? Because true listening begins within, not with the other, but with yourself. When Carl Jung explored the human psyche, he saw clearly. Love was never just about two people stumbling into each other. Love is a force, one that breaks illusions, exposes shadows, and rebuilds truth. Sometimes the person you meet is not your forever. They are your awakener, the one who reveals the depths of you that only fire could touch. This is why so many find themselves lost in confusion. The feeling is so strong, so electric, so undeniable, they convince themselves it must be destiny. But the universe operates on a different rhythm. Sometimes a soul connection is not there to stay, only to guide you home. And when you understand this, your questions change. You no longer ask, will he stay? You begin to ask, what am I meant to learn through him? So many of us were raised on stories. Stories that taught us to wait for the perfect man, the one who would sweep us off our feet and erase all the old wounds. But Jung would gently remind us, that story is the unconscious animus speaking. It whispers, if I find him, I will finally be whole. Yet the man truly sent by the universe is not here to fit a fantasy. He comes not to complete you, but to confront you. He stands as a reflection of your healing, of your power, of the very parts you try to hide. And if you're courageous enough to look not through longing, but through clarity, you'll see more than just him. You'll see yourself. One of the clearest signs that a man is a soul catalyst: It's not how comfortable he makes you feel. It's how deeply he triggers you. Does his honesty pierce your illusions? Does his presence force you to examine your fear of intimacy? Does his love call you to release the armor that once kept you safe but now keeps you small? Because when the universe sends someone to awaken you, it won't always feel like peace. Sometimes it feels like friction, charged, disorienting, magnetic. You will feel discomfort dancing with desire. You will feel called to grow in ways you didn't expect. Your instinct may be to run or to hold on so tightly that you lose yourself in him. Jung would remind you the invitation is to stand firm, to observe, to integrate. When someone mirrors your shadow, they do not come to destroy you, but to show you it still needs your love. When a woman has not yet befriended her animus, her relationships often become a stage for unconscious projection. She seeks out strength as something external, chasing after wisdom in someone else's mind, craving approval like a lifeline, and mistaking validation for love. Why? Because she has not yet discovered how to ground her own worth from within. She hasn't yet looked in the mirror and seen herself as enough. But when the right man enters her life, when the universe places a soul catalyst in her path, he will not reinforce these illusions. He will not become the hero she imagines. Instead, he will see through the role she has cast him in. Whether through gentle presence or firm resistance, he will not allow himself to play the savior. He will challenge her to speak her truth even when her voice shakes, to make choices aligned with her soul's mission, not his validation, to trust her own voice, her own mind, and to stop handing away her power. He will invite her to meet and integrate the healthy masculine within herself, but not by overshadowing her, not by replacing her strength with his, rather by mirroring it back to her again and again until she no longer doubts it is her own. One of Jung's most enduring insights was this: synchronicity is a signal, not a guarantee. When signs appear, dreams, symbols, repeating numbers, they are not a command to hold on at all costs. They are an invitation, a message: pay attention. You may feel it in your bones, that unshakable knowing that this man is meant to be in your life. And yet, even those who feel the most destined are not always meant to stay. Some people are initiators. They arrive to awaken you, to break the mirrors of illusion, to ignite the fire of your wholeness. They don't stay to complete you. They come to remind you that you were never incomplete. When you cling, hoping to keep what awakened you, you risk missing the very lesson they came to teach. That is why Jung encourages us to ask, not, how can I keep him, but, what is this connection opening within me? Does it invite you to trust? To lower the defenses you've built over years of fear? To recognize your own patterns of self-abandonment? To discover how deeply you can stand in love without disappearing inside of it? Sometimes, it is the heartbreaks that become the holiest teachers. They break us open exactly where we were most shut. They shine light into the dark corners we dared not look at. And they force us to remember our strength, not just who we are in love, but who we are when love leaves. When someone is chosen by the universe, it doesn't erase your free will. You are still the one who must choose. You choose whether to awaken or repeat your old patterns. You choose whether to cling out of fear or release from a place of trust. You choose whether to lose yourself in him or meet yourself through him. The universe can place the right person on your path, but only you can decide what you will do with that invitation. If he is truly aligned with your soul's journey, his presence will not make you shrink. It will make you bolder. He will not feed the illusions you once clung to. He will burn them away. He will not ride in to rescue you. Instead, he will remind you that you were never meant to be saved. You are meant to remember. This is the paradox of a soul-level connection. You may never be the same after meeting him, but that doesn't mean you're meant to keep him. What it means is this: you honor him as part of your becoming. You keep the doorway he opened open within you, even if he walks away. Because the point was never to hold on to him. The point was to reclaim yourself. You may find yourself wondering, if the universe sends someone to awaken you, how do you know if it's truly love, or just another repeating cycle of desire? Carl Jung would remind you, true love is not possession. It is not about owning someone or being owned. It is alchemy. It transforms you molecule by molecule from the inside out. It is not defined by who stays or who goes. It is measured by who you become through the connection. And you'll begin to notice something. When a soul-aligned person enters your life, they don't only bring light. They bring discomfort too. Whatever they try to take you over, they awaken your joy, and, just as powerfully, they surface your deepest insecurities. You may feel a strong urge to run or to grasp tightly, fearing the loss of this connection. It can feel overwhelming, like your heart is trying to both protect itself and reach out at the same time. But this intense pull, this emotional intensity is not a red flag. It is not a sign that the connection is wrong. It is a sign that it is real. That kind of connection, rare, soul-shifting, is not meant to leave you untouched. It doesn't arrive to keep things comfortable. It arrives to awaken something within you. A connection chosen by the universe will not let you remain unchanged. It will push gently, or sometimes forcefully, against the protective walls you've built over time. These walls that once kept you safe now begin to crack under the weight of something deeper, something true. It will challenge the walls you have built to keep yourself safe. It will draw out the version of you that's hidden behind layers of defense. It doesn't come with harsh demands or judgments. It will ask you to let yourself be seen, even in your rawest, most unguarded moments. Imagine the vulnerability of standing under a warm light, nothing to hide, everything exposed, not to be judged, but to be understood. It will mirror back the parts of you that still seek healing, not to shame you, but to call you home to yourself. Jung spoke of individuation, the sacred process of becoming whole, not just growing, but integrating. Love in its truest form becomes a catalyst for individuation. It invites, not forces, you to drop the masks, to shed the characters you thought you had to play. It will ask you to let go of who you think you need to be loved, and invite you to stand in who you truly are. You will find yourself wanting to speak your truth, even when your voice shakes, even when fear is pressing at your chest and your hands tremble. Something inside will push you forward. The silence you once used as a shield now feels like suffocation. You will feel the pull to express your needs, even when it feels vulnerable. No longer content to please or disappear, you begin to honor your own voice. You will discover the courage to walk away if the connection asks you to betray your alignment, not because you stopped caring, but because you started caring more about your own integrity. This is not about testing love by creating drama. It is not about stirring conflict for reassurance. It is about recognizing that a true connection will withstand truth. It will grow stronger in the presence of honesty. Not every conversation will be smooth, but the honesty will be the soil where mutual trust grows. It will not demand that you abandon yourself to maintain it. You won't need to shrink or bend into someone else's expectations just to be accepted. Many people are afraid to express their truth in love because they fear rejection. But what if rejection is not the enemy? What if self-abandonment is? Jung would say that love that requires you to abandon your truth is not love aligned with your becoming. Love that suppresses your voice only delays your evolution. If he is truly chosen by the universe, your truth will not push him away. It will call forth his truth too. In your courage, he finds his own. In your depth, he uncovers layers within himself. You will notice that you both grow in each other's presence, not through force, but through the natural unfolding of being deeply seen. There's a magic in feeling understood without needing to explain. Conversations will feel alive, even if they challenge you. They won't always be easy, but they'll be real. You will feel encouraged to pursue your mission, your niche, your creativity, rather than shrink to fit his comfort. He will not dim your light to protect his insecurities. Instead, he will stand beside you, even when your brightness casts shadows. You will experience moments of silence that feel safe, not empty. There will be pauses, but never distance. You will feel held, not possessed. You will feel spacious within the connection, not confined by it. You will feel inspired, not drained. When a soul connection is sent by the universe, it arrives with a quiet certainty. It will often arrive when you least expect it, not in the chaos of chasing or the ache of loneliness, but in moments of inner alignment. Not when you are searching from a place of desperation, but when you are aligned with yourself. It may come in a moment of transition, a period of solitude, or after you have chosen to prioritize your inner world, perhaps when you've just surrendered the need to control the outcome. It may surprise you because it does not arrive to fill a void, but to mirror the wholeness you have begun to cultivate within, like meeting a reflection that shows not just your image, but your essence. You will feel resonance, a calm knowing beneath the excitement. You may feel recognition in his eyes, as if you have known him before, as if his presence echoes something ancient within you, something quietly familiar, not in a past life fantasy, but in the sense that he sees the parts of you you have worked hard to see within yourself. That kind of gaze does not demand performance, it invites rest. The connection will not demand that you rush. It will not manipulate you with scarcity. You won't feel the pressure of urgency. Instead, there will be space for each step. It will invite you to be present, to slow down, to breathe. Jung would remind you that synchronicity often appears around such connections. It's not coincidence, it's alignment. You may notice repeated numbers, dreams, or symbols that align with this person's presence in your life. A favorite song playing in unexpected places, a name spoken just as you think of it. These are not signs to cling, but signs to pay attention to what this connection is inviting you to learn. You may feel fear arise, old wounds surfacing, that voice in your head whispering, "Don't trust this." The heart remembers past pains, even when the present feels different. The old stories may try to protect you, telling you to close your heart, but a soul-aligned connection will feel different, even within the fear. There will be something grounding in his presence. There will be a softness in the way he shows up, a consistency in his presence, a safety in his words and actions that invite your nervous system to relax. You will notice that your patterns of self-abandonment are challenged. The urge to disappear, to give too much, to lose yourself. All of it will rise, but so will your awareness. You will be called to practice boundaries not as walls, but as expressions of self-respect. Can you say no and still be loving? Yes, and you must. You will be invited to soften, not by losing yourself, but by trusting yourself. Softness becomes strength when rooted in self-trust. You will be asked to receive, to allow yourself to be supported without guilt or fear. If he is chosen by the universe, he will not demand your light while refusing to share his own. He will not take without offering, not pull without giving. He will meet you in depth, not superficiality. He will not just adore your beauty, but witness your becoming. He will see your shadows and not use them against you. They will become maps to deeper understanding, not weapons of manipulation. He will not play games that trigger your anxiety for control. You will not find yourself doubting every silence, questioning every pause. Instead, he will stand beside you, mirroring your commitment to growth and presence. This connection will not be perfect. There will be days when you misread each other's tone, moments when your wounds speak louder than your words, and times when your differences feel like distance. There will be moments of misunderstanding, differences, and human flaws. That's not a failure. It's simply the human experience unfolding. But beneath every disagreement or misstep, there will be a foundation of respect and a shared desire for truth. It's not about never clashing. It's about choosing to return to each other with openness and curiosity. You will feel the freedom to be yourself, to explore your desires, to share your dreams, to express your fears. And in doing so, you'll also find something even more precious: acceptance that doesn't come with conditions. It's in this sacred space that your inner world starts to breathe more freely. You will notice that you feel more connected to yourself, not less, in his presence, as if simply being near him reminds you of who you are, not because he defines you, but because he doesn't ask you to be anyone else. Your creativity may expand, ideas will flow with less resistance. You might find yourself painting again, writing again, dreaming again. Your intuition may grow sharper. You begin to notice the gentle nudges of your inner knowing. Your heart may feel more open, even in moments of vulnerability. Isn't it a strange kind of beauty when openness doesn't feel dangerous but liberating? Because this is what a true soul connection does. It doesn't force, it invites. It aligns you with your essence. The universe isn't trying to give you someone to rescue or be rescued by. The universe does not send you someone to complete you. It sends you someone to walk beside you as you continue becoming who you are meant to be. A soul-aligned connection chosen by the universe will invite you into deeper levels of responsibility with yourself. It will shine a gentle light on the places within you that still carry old stories and habitual patterns. It will ask you to stop living in patterns of blame and projection and to step into a place of inner authority. You'll begin to understand that how you show up in love is never just about the other person. It is always a reflection of your own inner state. You will begin to see that how you respond to love is a reflection of the relationship you have with yourself. If you find yourself anxiously attaching, seeking constant reassurance, or fearing abandonment, this connection will invite you to look at where you have not yet learned to reassure yourself. Where in your life do you still feel that your worth depends on being needed or never being left? Where you have not yet trusted yourself enough to know you will be okay even if someone else leaves. This is where you meet your edges, where you still believe that love is something you must earn rather than something you are worthy of by your existence alone. And in this awareness, healing quietly begins. Carl Jung would remind you that the purpose of these connections is to bring your unconscious patterns into your conscious awareness. You may see yourself clearly through how you respond to him, how you communicate, how you hold or abandon your boundaries. In these subtle, everyday exchanges, the mirror of love becomes unavoidable. Each moment of discomfort becomes a portal to your healing. Instead of escaping the hard moments, you begin to use them as doorways to deeper self-understanding. When you meet someone aligned with your path, your connection becomes a safe space to practice new ways of being, a space where you can rewrite old scripts, not through force but through compassion, to express your needs calmly rather than with fear, to listen to his truth without making it mean rejection. You learn that his truth doesn't cancel yours. You begin to hold space for difference without losing connection, to show up honestly rather than hiding parts of yourself to maintain peace. There's no more pretending, no more masking discomfort to keep harmony. This is love as a spiritual practice where every interaction becomes an opportunity to align with your integrity. It becomes sacred, not because it's without flaw, but because it's rooted in growth. This man will not complete you, but he will hold space for your becoming. His presence will feel stable, not because he is perfect, but because he is willing to do the work within himself too. Stability here isn't rigid, it's responsive. You will see him navigating his own shadows with awareness. You will notice his efforts, not just to be seen, but to see himself honestly. You will witness his commitment to growth, to honesty, to presence. There's no need to drag him along your path. You will not need to pull him along your journey, nor will he demand you to shrink on yours. Together, you will create a dynamic where honesty is honored, where differences are respected, and where love becomes a ground for evolution, not just comfort. This is not the kind of relationship that stagnates. It breathes, it expands, it stretches. Both of you. In many relationships, people become stuck in cycles of unconscious patterns. Familiar patterns that repeat until someone dares to break them. One partner becoming the pursuer, the other withdrawing. One partner becoming the caretaker, the other becoming the dependent. But a soul-aligned connection invites balance. Not perfect symmetry, but conscious flow. You learn to hold your own emotions while allowing support. You begin to notice that strength doesn't mean isolation, and vulnerability doesn't mean weakness. You learn to give without losing yourself. Your generosity no longer empties you, it reflects your overflow. You learn to receive without guilt, allowing love to enter without suspicion, without apology. This is the invitation of a true partnership, chosen by the universe, not to fix or rescue, but to walk forward in wholeness. To learn how to remain in your wholeness while loving another deeply. To stand firmly in your truth while allowing intimacy. To hold your sovereignty while sharing your life with someone else. This is one of the deepest challenges and the most profound invitations in any meaningful connection. To stand fully in who you are, while still making space for another soul to walk beside you. Jung taught that the unconscious seeks to become conscious, and relationships are one of the most powerful mirrors for this transformation. In the presence of someone truly aligned with your path, the invisible parts of your psyche begin to rise into the light. The patterns you bring into your connection are not there to shame you, but to guide you toward awareness. These patterns, often born from old pain, are not flaws. They are signals that invite your attention, not your judgment. If you notice yourself falling into old patterns, people-pleasing, abandoning yourself, or closing off out of fear, pause and observe. Don't react right away. Instead, breathe and watch. Ask yourself, what part of me is afraid? What part of me feels unsafe to express my needs? You might hear the echo of a childhood memory or an old heartbreak whispering that safety means silence. What old story is trying to write my present moment? These questions are not meant to shame you. They are meant to help you reclaim your power. Your ability to pause, reflect, and choose a new response is what will transform your life. It's not about perfection, it's about presence. The universe sends soul-aligned connections to support this transformation, not to rescue you from doing the work. It's not a shortcut to healing. It's a container where healing becomes more visible, more immediate, and sometimes more intense. This connection will require you to develop emotional maturity. You'll be called to move beyond projection, beyond blame. It will require you to take responsibility for your triggers. That means no longer expecting someone else to regulate your emotions. To communicate with clarity rather than with hidden expectations. To listen deeply rather than waiting to defend yourself. To be present rather than performing to be loved. Because with him, you notice something different. You will notice that with this man, you are not performing. There's no script to follow, no persona to maintain. You are not trying to be who you think he wants you to be, and somehow that feels like freedom. You are simply being. Your essence, raw and real, is enough. And he meets you in that space, seeing you clearly, honoring your truth, respecting your boundaries, not because it is convenient, but because it is aligned. Love becomes an act of freedom, not possession. There's no grasping, no desperation to hold on tight. You both grow individually while nurturing the connection you share. You water your own roots, and in doing so, the relationship blossoms. You inspire each other to step further into your missions, to deepen your presence, to expand your capacity to love. There will be moments when silence feels sacred, when eye contact speaks volume. You will find moments of deep peace where your nervous system feels safe, where your body relaxes, where your mind is clear. This is what alignment feels like. Not the absence of conflict, but the presence of intention. It is not without challenges, but even the challenges feel purposeful, calling you to deepen your honesty and your commitment to living your truth. And yes, the mind may resist. Sometimes your mind will try to sabotage this peace, telling you it is too good to be true, or that you should run before you get hurt. But the heart knows. The body remembers what safety feels like. But the invitation is to stay present, to continue choosing the connection while continuing to choose yourself. You are not abandoning yourself to keep the love, you are including yourself in it. If he is truly chosen by the universe, he will encourage your wholeness, not your dependence. He will want you to thrive, not shrink. He will celebrate your individuality, not fear it. He will not ask you to dim your voice to protect his ego. He will honor your truth, not demand you silence it. He will stand beside you, not to carry you, but to walk with you. He will hold your hand, not as a lifeline, but as a companion on the journey. This is what it means to meet someone aligned with your soul's path. It is not the fantasy that movies sell, where passion alone sustains the connection. It is not a fairy tale designed to keep you in fantasy. It is a sacred meeting designed to keep you awake, aligned, and deeply alive. In this space, you don't feel like you're constantly chasing clarity. A soul-chosen connection does not leave you questioning where you stand every night. You don't lie awake wondering if you are enough. It does not ask you to sacrifice your dignity for scraps of attention. It does not thrive on games or the illusion of hot and cold to keep you chasing. There is no power play, no manipulation disguised as passion. It is clear, steady, and alive. A grounded presence that feels like truth. When the universe places someone on your path for your growth, it will feel like a quiet yes in your body, a gentle calm beneath the nerves. Even if your mind still has fear, it will feel like your nervous system can breathe around him, and that is something you cannot fake. Even when your heart is opening in ways that feel new, you will find yourself wanting to grow, not for him, but because you feel inspired within yourself. You will notice your old patterns start to surface, but this time you see them with clarity. The urge to hide, to flee, to sabotage, yes, they still show up. You feel the urge to run when things get intimate. But now you pause and breathe, realizing you are safe. You don't shame yourself for feeling scared. You hold yourself through it. You notice the habit of wanting to please to keep the peace. But you remember your voice matters, that your truth is not too much. You feel the discomfort of being seen in your softness. But you choose to remain open, because this is what the right connection does. Even when vulnerability feels risky. Even when your old stories urge you to shut down and protect yourself. It does not fix you. It doesn't arrive with instructions or solutions. And it doesn't pretend to carry the answers you seek. It holds a mirror so you can choose to heal yourself. This kind of connection doesn't reach in to repair your brokenness. It simply reflects what's been there all along, waiting for your attention. It does not rescue you from your shadows. It doesn't pull you away from your pain, but walks beside you through the darkness. It stands beside you as you walk through them, a steady presence that doesn't retreat when your fear surfaces. It does not complete you because you were never incomplete. It amplifies the wholeness you are learning to claim. Like sunlight through a window, it simply illuminates what is already within. Carl Jung taught that the journey of individuation is the process of becoming whole, and love is one of the greatest teachers on that path. The people we meet are catalysts, mirrors, and sometimes soul companions who walk beside us as we unfold. They may not always stay forever, but their impact can last a lifetime. If he is truly chosen by the universe, you will feel more like yourself when you are with him. Not because he defines you, but because he doesn't ask you to be anything other than your authentic self. You will notice your feminine essence awakening, your intuition sharpening, your desires becoming clearer. Something in his presence calls you inward, to listen more deeply, to speak more honestly, to honor what you want. You will feel safe enough to rest, to soften, to express your needs without fear of abandonment. That kind of safety isn't created by promises. It's felt in the smallest moments. A glance, a pause, a hand gently resting in yours. You will not feel the need to prove your worth to him. There will be no auditions, no emotional performances to win his love. You will not feel the need to chase or to shrink to be loved. You'll no longer fold yourself into smaller versions just to be accepted. Instead, you will feel seen in your fullness, and you will see him in his. Both of you standing tall, holding your truth, allowing space for each other to exist fully. You will experience love not as a performance, but as a presence. It will feel like exhaling after holding your breath for too long. And even if the path with him is not forever, you will know the connection was true, because it brought you closer to yourself, your mission, and your alignment. You will not regret opening your heart, even if it hurt, because you will see how much you grew through it. Pain, when processed consciously, becomes a teacher, not a punishment. You will not cling out of fear, because you trust that what is meant for you will remain, and what no longer serves your journey will naturally fall away, and what is meant to leave will free you for your next chapter. Some goodbyes are gifts in disguise. Love is not meant to cage you. It is meant to free you. It is meant to remind you that you are capable of depth, of presence, of truth. Even in moments of uncertainty, even when you're afraid, love reminds you of your own capacity to feel deeply and stay open. It is meant to teach you that you are already whole, that there is nothing missing, nothing broken. The right man will not take you away from your path. He will walk beside you as you live it. He won't try to reroute your direction. He will walk it with you, step by step. He will not demand your light while hiding his own. There will be a mutual shining, not competition, not control. He will not fear your power, your softness, or your truth. Instead, he will honor all of it, not because it's convenient, but because it's real. He will stand with you, not above you and not beneath you, not as your savior, not as your burden, but as your equal. If you have found this man, cherish the connection, but continue to honor your own alignment. Never abandon yourself to keep love. Continue to grow, to speak, to love, to trust. Let the connection inspire your unfolding, not define your identity. And if you have not yet found him, do not search from emptiness. Don't chase love as a remedy for loneliness. Root into yourself, your truth, your essence, your mission. Become the kind of energy you wish to meet, because the universe sends the right connections to those who are ready to walk with them, not those who wait to be rescued. Carl Jung would remind you that the universe is not separate from you. It's not some distant force deciding your fate without your participation. It moves through you, and you are a co-creator of your journey. Each decision, each intention, shapes the road beneath your feet. The right connection will not complete you, but it will reflect the love, the presence, and the alignment you have chosen within yourself. And that reflection will feel like clarity, not confusion. And in this you will discover that the greatest love story is not about being chosen by another, but about choosing yourself so fully that you can meet another in wholeness. Stay awake, stay aligned, stay sovereign. This is Sci-Fos Depth.